need to just I need to start over, dude. I need to start over, and we'll take it from the top. We'll take it
A
from the
lifetime
top.
of playing video games. At one point, I was, maybe one of the best Quake players in the world.
You're actually like a world-class, incredible video game player.
Yeah.
So let's start off with some context. Elon Musk's character is currently level 97, aka rank 12 on hardcore, that's permanent death mode, Trade League. People are playing the game literally. They're staying up 40 to 50 hours without sleeping, only playing Path of Exile, and they are the most try-hard guys in the world. The highest ranked player on the hardcore Trade League was level 93. Okay, it becomes exponentially harder to gain experience. A lot harder and a lot harder. Okay, so these players, to get to 97, have to be playing the game every day for the majority of their day.
And they're saying that he doesn't even understand what he's like looking at. So just like imagine that, dude. He doesn't even understand anything. Like it's just a wash of colors to Elon right now. And he's still at that level of gameplay. He's that efficient. You know, he can just like kick back and just play in a completely different way. It's incredible.
Currently, what is their highest ranked player? They're level 97, same as Elon Musk. So, I mean, he's effectively has been playing, pretty much just doing nothing except playing Path of Exile. So let's just go over some of the things that happened. So right away, we see Elon zone into his hideout, which is your area you do in-game content from. And he opens up his bank, and he goes to a tab called Elon's Maps, which...
I don't understand what the problem is. You know, those are his maps. And then the other maps are obviously like not as like of as much of an Elon map. You know what I mean? Like these maps, like, oh yeah. Yeah, those are some like Elon's maps. If you know what I mean. And I think I get what like Elon was going for there by having a tab called maps and then you know, like Elon maps. He's like trying to do a thing.
Immediately is a little bit of a red flag because I don't know why you would...
Because he knew people would be like paying attention to everything he does because of how good he is at the game without needing to understand anything other than the psychedelic stream of colors happening on his screen at any given moment.
Refer to yourself in third person, but okay, he does that. Elon Musk didn't play Path of Exile 1.
You know, I mean, whether he calls them like a map or a waystone, whatever.
And he never actually refers to them as maps. He calls them...
Play another round here. This is a hard level.
See, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
just kind of weird that he's, again, called his tab Elon's Maps. So almost like someone who's a Path of Exile 1 veteran.
So what if he calls it like a
making that
tier?
tab, like, Elon...
Or
there's a tab there called Elon's Maps. Grab your map out there. I've rolled them all for you.
You know, like
nice and easy.
I'm gonna put
He
this
then
cube into the
proceeds
box.
to walk up to his map device. And
It's not
go
that
put a map.
strange.
The literal first thing you learn upon getting to the end game is how to operate this map device. You're going to start off at a node, and then from that node, you can go to adjacent connected maps. Now, Elon, he's trying to click.
Oh, he's trying to do the map that's not in the chain.
He's just clicking a map repeatedly, trying to access it. He was not eligible to enter that map.
I just want you guys to understand, this is one of the highest level hardcore characters in the game. He would have played thousands of maps at this point.
Anyone who's level 97 is, and you know, we're talking one of the most efficient players in the game, period.
But like, that's just it, you know? That's just it. He doesn't even have to do that. And yet he is still... I think he died. His hardcore journey came to an end. But, you know, he still was like rank 7 or something. And he didn't even need to like be as sweaty as some of these other gamers. It's just absolutely incredible.
There is no way you would do that. Why? Just like
wow,
like some sort of geriatric old man clicking this node, expecting something to happen, and then he finally kind of...
Just because he takes anywhere from twice to, I would say, 20-fold as long to perform simple actions as the other people he's competing against, and for some reason is ahead of them in many ways, not only in gear, but experience as well, that doesn't mean anything is afoot.
Gives up after a while, and then realizes his mistake. We then get a look at his inventory. So Elon Musk is stuck going into the map and with full bags. If you're an efficient player, you're going to clear them.
He wants to save identifying those for later, you know? Sometimes whenever you pick up an item, you're like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm going to be upset somewhere in the future. And identifying these items will, like, get me out of that like nothing. But only these ones. So, to my imagination, that's what he's doing there.
Map, you're going to loot the valuable items. You're going to go in and you're going to take those items and you're going to basically look through the good ones, keep the good ones, list them up for sale, and then truck away the trash ones.
No.
It's almost like he has no understanding.
No, that's just like your opinion, man.
Or what you're even supposed to do with them. So now Elon zones into the map.
So what I'm doing here is just boosting my shield before battle via meditation. Meditation before battle is always good.
And he starts killing monsters. He starts obliterating monsters with his character. But what becomes obviously apparent...
Chaos Orb, no loot filter.
Yeah,
Like,
Chaos Orb on the
he just
ground,
ran past Chaos
classic.
Orbs. He just ran past
You know,
Chaos Orbs.
I mean,
Chaos
who
Orbs
doesn't
are
do
one
that?
of the most important currencies, and they're
Oh,
also...
I don't even want to hear him say that because it's called a Chaos Orb.
When you hear the whispers, what do you think he was on about?
It's Elon, right?
Yeah.
Then Elon. Shut your damn mouth. Ugh, why do I always get stuck with these rookies? On my back will be blade up!
Come on! I'm ready! I'm ready! Captain! Captain!
Elon.
On your feet, lad.
Sir, the captain,
You'll be fine. Here.
What is it?
And who in their right mind would invite chaos into their own lives? Leave those orbs on the ground until the developers come to their senses and call it something much more civilized. I'm right there with Elon on this one. Whether it is one of the most valuable currencies in the game or not, I would never.
I have about 140 exalts. I have like 9 Chaos Orbs. Just so you guys understand.
So in Path of Exile, the devs are these evil guys and they talk about feeling the weight and they effectively just drop tons and tons of items. And you have to know what to pick up.
This is
So
ridiculous.
What GG have done, the people who make
These
the game,
accusations
they've
are
made this
baseless and
system
unfounded.
gets rid of 90 to 95, even in some cases, like we're talking 98% of all loot that drops, because otherwise your screen is just cluttered. And you won't even notice when you get a good drop. It's unfathomable for someone to be in the top ranks without loot. Yet Elon Musk, the god gamer, he doesn't play with a loot filter. The only thing Elon does pick up are maps, because the default in-game loot filter highlights those things.
Hold on. This one's easily addressable. This one's super easily waved away. Hold on. I've got something in my eye. I'm not crying. So, haven't you heard Elon? It's like you don't even watch his stream. Elon himself said that he's playing the game as difficultly as possible, with as much difficulty as possible. What's another way to increase the difficulty if not playing without a loot filter and then not picking up the best loot in the game? I've also heard that he plays in a different language that he doesn't understand on a server that he's not from. Again, just additional difficulty layers is all I keep hearing.
Worthless. The actual items of value that he should be picking up, that he would have had to pick up in order to get the gear, leave it on the ground. Anyone who's been playing the game and is a complete expert, we're talking he's cleared
yeah, and those experts need that loot because they're that bad at the game. Whereas Elon doesn't need that loot and is still almost as good as them when they're picking up that OP loot.
thousands of maps. He's been playing that character for hundreds of hours. He's going to be pretty damn good at, playing the character. He gets to the boss. He's fighting the boss. And I want to say for about 10 seconds, he sits there and he's out with mana. Mana is a resource in this game.
But playing without mana is certainly more difficult. No? Checkmate. We got him.
Where you need it in order to use.
We got him.
He just sits there, default attacking the boss.
Got him good.
Without activating his mana flask. Anyone who's played the game and understands the character would understand, I'm not doing any damage because I'm out of mana. Elon Musk takes 10.
Listen to this guy talk, and I bet you he uses mana. I bet you he plays with a full mana bar.
Seconds. He then goes on to loot items off the ground.
Gosh.
He starts dragging them into his bag. I don't even know how to describe to you how painful that is to anyone who actually plays the game. And his bags are full, and he just keeps clicking it over and over and over again. Nobody, not even people who are kind of noobs at the game, do this. I don't even think Elon Musk has done the campaign, honestly. Just based on what I'm seeing in terms of the gameplay. His settings on the map transparency are turned on by default. His life values are turned on. All these basic settings that anyone in the top 100 would do, he is not doing. Maps can effectively have different content on them, and that content will be signified by icons on the map. So it could be a map which has an expedition in it, a breach in it, or it could be corrupted. Elon starts looking for.
And we're back to, the literacy issue. Just because he can't be bothered to read anything and doesn't understand the difference between that thing or the other thing, or, whether 5 things is better than 6 things, or 6 things with a level 52 requirement is too low or something. And yet he's still rank 7. Still rank 7. It's unbelievable that they're accusing him of being bad when he's clearly that good without needing to actually, from the sounds of it, I think he's playing with his eyes closed.
For the Atlas, and he finds
it's
a
remarkable.
Map, I kid you not, 4 things.
Absolutely remarkable.
4 things there. So this one has the real risk of dying.
4 things.
Why are they laughing at him?
4
Stop laughing!
4 things, dude.
So this one has the real risk of
Not
dying.
this far in the game and calling it 4 things. Stop, bro. Dude, stop. Oh my god.
They're just jealous that he's higher rank than they are on the ladder.
Difficulty on hardcore. If there's a way to get higher difficulty, I don't know what it is, but
See? He says it himself. There you go. It's proof. He's trying to make everything as difficult as possible. And that could explain away so many things. He's trying to confuse himself with multiple map tabs. He's trying to confuse himself by playing in a different language. He's trying to not pick up loot as much as possible.
is everything maxed out.
Path of Exile has boss fights and end-game bosses, which are quote-unquote difficult battles, which Elon actually
And they're easier if you understand them.
did do.
So obviously, a real gamer would understand that, and then not understand any of the bosses that they're going up against, so that they can be as difficult as possible.
And one
Understanding a boss is a crutch.
of his streams where he just went into the end-game boss and died repeatedly to it. Maps are just farming. You go into maps and you farm them for loot and experience. They're not the most difficult battles, and I don't know if he's trying to deceive people watching a stream into
These
thinking
guys are
doing some
ridiculous.
insanely
It's
hard battle,
so
whatever. He's
easy.
literally doing something you
So
do
easy
effectively
to
grind or farm. And if you thought this was
contradict
bad,
what they're saying.
I did not even get to the worst part. In Path of Exile, gear has requirements to equip it, but that has nothing to do necessarily with how good it is. For example, one of the most powerful and best items in the game is a level 1 required to equip staff, which is maybe, I think, even the most meta build in the game right now. It's super, super broken, insane damage. And Elon Musk starts going over his gear.
This is a great staff, but it's only a level, 62 staff.
His weapon is, I kid you not, one of the best, if not the best staffs on the entire hardcore trade league.
No wonder he's not picking up loot anymore then. He doesn't even need to. He's done. He beat the whole loot game. And now all he has to do is make it as difficult as possible for himself and climbing to that number 1 rank.
You cannot even buy it. Insane weapon.
These affixes are, I'd hate to say perfect, but they might be perfect.
Just the PvPS criteria on trade, we can see there's literally one staff in existence on the entire market. Not only does Elon have a staff that you can't even buy, but it's so good that the second best one, which is missing 2 of what makes a staff so powerful for an invoker, which is the crit and crit bonus, is still 20 divines, and that's obviously very expensive.
Here I am, level 95, but my staff is only level 62. my helmet is level 56.
Int, lightning, and chaos resist. Okay. It's only 56.
Amulet level 61. Ring is only level 48, 49. At least a level 75 jacket.
It's a jacket with 6 things. Yeah, tell us how bad.
I mean, is he wrong? Is he wrong? It's obviously got 6 things on it, so just because he can't describe what they do like some sort of no-life streamer doesn't mean that he's, bad at the game. It's just, I mean, I don't even get what they're trying to say here.
That only drops from the highest difficulty of the hardest boss. Just tell us that it's only level 52. Did you find this at level 52? That's impressive.
Level 52 here.
They can only ever be
back to laughing. Stop laughing at him.
Bro, Elon Musk is a fucking fraud, bro.
Pretty low level compared to my character level, but it seems to work pretty well. In softcore, you can get much better equipment.
In order for him to have insane gear, he has to understand how the economy works. He has to be basically trading.
Anyone who's played Path of Exile to the end game in a trade league knows that you have to trade in order to obtain.
I mean, maybe he just picked all of his gear up like that. Maybe he didn't even need to trade for it. It's like he knew what items to pick up and win. And that's why they rolled like that. Have you thought of that? Maybe he's playing 5D chess while you're playing 1D checkers. Got him.
What looks like some of the best gear pieces in the entire game. If we look at some of these player accounts, we can see what they have for trade. 700 plus items for sale, multiple divine items. You can see hundreds of divines worth of listed items. This is also someone from the top 10, rank number 4, focus here, worth 50 divines alone. This is the number 1 guy. You can see hundreds of divines, again, worth of items, multiple mirrors, all these players. If we go to Elon's account, he's got only 21 items for sale, and they're all absolute garbage. It's clear he's really not making much money, or any money at all. So something I did notice last week, I did the same search because I was curious what he might have been selling, and I grabbed the screenshot which I shared to my Discord, and it's this really, really, really crappy crossbow for 18 divines. So why is it listed for 18 divines, and where did it go? Is it possible he vendored it? Yes. Why was it listed for 18 divines?
I mean, can you really blame a guy? He's a businessman, and maybe he knows the market, right? Maybe he knows this is an extremely collectible ranged thing it's got I mean, let me count. It's got 5 things, so it's a ranged thing with 5 things on it. What if it's worth like 18 of those other like face circles that I don't, I mean, he doesn't like picking up those like orbs or whatever they're called. So this is like how he gets those instead. It's like an additional difficulty layer. Like you have to find the person interested in collecting items that are ranged with 5 things on them for a high price. Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't want to fuel any conspiracy theories, but I have been made aware that RMT typically they use legitimate listings that are far overpriced, and that is how they mask the transaction as legitimate. So if he were to buy 18 divines for $100 US or whatever, he could have done so through this listing.
And if you needed any
Go
more
to your
proof,
next
Elon is
point.
100%
Go to your next
boosted.
point.
He
I
was
already
playing the
disproved
game
it.
today. Inside of maps blasting, while simultaneously on a X space talking to like some far right wing part of some German government. I don't know, some political bullshit. Okay, I guess he's just that much of a god gamer.
Yeah, and then they're showing the proof. You know what? Like I said, just because his eyes are glazed over worse than some donuts at Krispy Kreme on Sunday morning doesn't mean that he can't be rank 7 god gamer. You know? Like maybe it's just like a stress response of like he gets scared when his monitor turns on, and so like visually he shuts down and just starts like stirring his hands around. But he got to rank 7, so obviously he's really good at the game. I can't wait to see him run it back. Since he enjoys it so much, obviously.